So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is your gracious co-host, Jay Stokes, on the AVIOT Atypical Voices in Our Time podcast, the official podcast of Chemistry Productions. That's spelled K3MISTRY Productions, a media education company. I am joined by my gracious co-host, Jay Random. What is going on, Jay?
Hey, man, just chilling, man. How you doing today?
I'm good. I was trying to finish my meal, and you just kept blowing up my phone. I got a bone to pick with you too, because last week you just dipped. Last week you just dipped on me. I was like, yo, where you at? And we ended up not having a podcast. I put out a message on the Chemistry Productions Tumblr page like, hey, well, we're not going to be having the podcast this week because of some unforeseen circumstances.
Yo, it's not water under the bridge. We're doing it now, right?
Nah. We are consistent with this. We are consistent.
So that's what. Put our best on next time.
Dude,
they won't know the difference.
Do you know how many stories we missed in this time period?
We didn't miss a lot.
We did.
No, we didn't. You know why?
We'll start off with the first one. Miss Tamika Mallory. Miss Tamika Mallory, she is one of the leaders, I guess a co-chair or something, of the Women's March.
Okay.
And the Women's March obviously is for women's empowerment, and it's also talking about, I know they talk about racial injustice, and they talk about abortion rights, which goes along with women's empowerment, obviously, but they have different topics that they handle. So Miss Tamika Mallory, she's an African-American individual, and she went to a Nation of Islam feast, or a big day in the Nation of Islam, their community, and she met with Louis Farrakhan, took a picture with him, and called him the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And because of this, a lot of people were upset because Minister Louis Farrakhan has been known for saying some anti-Semitic remarks. Excuse me. And they say if you associate yourself with someone who says anti-Semitic remarks, then obviously you're anti-Semitic.
He must feel the same way, right?
No, I do not.
No, I'm sorry. Meaning not you, but she must feel the same way.
They say you must feel the same way.
Yeah, well, I did say you, but I was talking about her when I said you, as in she. I said she. She must feel the same way. That's what people are thinking because she's associating herself with that type of rhetoric.
Correct.
Okay.
So she went on The View, and she had a very nasty exchange with Meghan McCain.
Okay.
And well, I won't say she had a nasty exchange. Meghan McCain was the nasty one on it, and she just kept grilling her, and wouldn't allow Tamika Mallory to say her point. And she was saying Minister Louis Farrakhan, he means something different for the Black community than he does for other communities, and he's done a lot to empower the Black community. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that before I elaborate further.
So basically, it's kind of like a touchy Philly type of situation when it comes to Louis Farrakhan, because you're right, he does mean more to the Black community than any other community.
Yes,
but I don't agree with how he
delivers his messages sometimes.
Like like the same thing with the Black Israelites.
The Hebrew Israelite. Oh man, we're getting into that later. But
yeah, exactly. So I mean, I can understand. I'm all about power to the people, but I believe that you can still represent your people without putting others down.
Correct.
If that makes any sense.
I agree.
So that's why I draw the line with him, as far as I'm okay with what you're saying, as long as you're trying to empower the Black community. I'm down with that. But the minute you start talking about race, another race, I'm not for that. I'd rather not hear that part. So for her to say the GOAT, I guess she didn't mind actually getting the backlash, because you got to be careful, because I know you and I were talking months ago about how Netflix was supposed to give it was rumored that Netflix was supposed to give Louis Farrakhan a documentary money.
Right, they're supposed to get a documentary, and they pulled it. Yeah,
and they pulled it and talk about we ain't never do this, like we ain't never agree to this and stuff like that.
They did.
And it's amazing because we look at Netflix. Netflix have so much stuff on there. They ought to be ashamed to even pull anything. There's a lot of stuff they should be pulling, and it definitely wasn't that. So
this is the thing, though.
What's up?
Like, not to interrupt you, but
no, it's cool.
Meghan McCain was really big on denouncing Farrakhan. Like she was saying that Tamika Mallory needs to denounce Farrakhan. And Tamika was saying, I don't agree with everything he says. I don't agree with everything he says. And like it's like Meghan McCain was like kind of saying, you have to obey me. And Meghan McCain's a white individual, and it looks really strange that it's like she's trying to tell a black woman she needs to do what she says. Like
Oh
that's
no.
strange on in itself. And then also it's like you telling Tamika to denounce Minister Louis Farrakhan, but you don't denounce your dead father, John McCain. John McCain did a lot to undermine the civil rights movement, and he wasn't even for turning Dr. King's not his birthday, but just giving him a holiday. So I mean, you can't talk when your father has done crazy things, and then no one's seen her denounce Trump, and President Trump
Exactly.
has done a lot of negative things as well. I'm not picking sides here, but I'm just saying it's like the pot calling the kettle black.
I agree. And you're right. It's like, okay, wait a minute. If she's not gonna denounce Trump, then she should just keep her mouth shut, because I mean, people are really just, I mean, like even his followers, they're rather not say anything and let them go on and on than to admit that they made a mistake. Listen, we all make mistakes. We're humans, but they don't want but they don't want egg in their face, so they're gonna just ride out and rock with them, knowing that half. Well, I'm hoping that majority of his beliefs aren't what they believe in.
You give them
So
a lot. You give them too much credit. But I just
yeah,
wanted to point that out. Just that you can't, as a white individual, you can't be in charge of who black people choose as their leaders or people that they want to listen to.
I totally agree with that. I agree. Don't tell me what to do. You listen. You stay in your lane. I stay in mine. You know, because I just one thing I do have a problem with is when they actually try to tell us what to do. Like, yo, those days are over. You're not
Right.
telling me what to do. You're not going to tell me how to feel, how to like, who to like. I'm not having it. Let me tell you what's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. So,
Right.
with that being said, I mean, yeah, you can't tell me, you can't tell me what to do. I'm not having it. So, I personally get irritated. As you can tell, the energy came up because I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't like that. So, but no, it's true.
I woke up the bear. I
Yeah,
woke up
yeah,
the bear.
yeah. I don't like that. So, but yeah. So, any updates on if she denounced them yet? Meaning,
No, she said she will not denounce him. So I'm like, okay, I agree.
cool.
Because the thing is,
Don't denounce him.
no,
'Cause at
because
the
the
end of the
thing,
day, he's gonna help you more than they are.
yes, he will. And the thing is, even though Minister Farrakhan has been a problematic figure, and obviously I'm with her, I don't agree with everything he said. At the end of the day, he's done a lot for the black community. Like,
Yes,
think about the Million Man March. The Million Man March wouldn't even be possible if it wasn't for him. He was a
I
big
agree.
person that orchestrated that.
Yep. No, I agree.
From what I
So,
hear, he's even helped with the crime rate in Chicago.
yeah.
So it's
So,
it's a
yeah,
lot.
it's a
It's a
lot, and when it's all said and done, come on. Um, I haven't heard him speak lately, so I'm not sure if he's still doing what he used to do as far as uh
he's
spewing.
speaking.
No,
He's
no, no,
speaking, but
spewing.
it's
No,
more.
no.
Oh,
Well, no, yeah, like spewing anti
Semitic
Semitic, yeah,
rhetoric.
exactly.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's still doing that, because you know the older you get, either you get worse or you kind of calm down. So I don't know what happened to me, but so
I understand. But you actually mentioned the Trump administration, and we
yeah,
were talking about that for a little bit. I wanted to throw this by you. I didn't talk to you about it today, but Laura Trump, who is the wife of President Donald Trump's son Eric,
okay,
she came out today
uh
talking about the government shutdown, saying it's a little bit of pain, but your children will thank you later.
Wait a minute, time out.
You want
That
me to read her
that's
full statement? I
that
watched the
statement
interview,
is
so she's
so
not.
blanket. Like I'm laughing because I'm like, wow, she's so clueless. Like, and I understand what she's saying. She's basically saying, listen, you're gonna sacrifice now, you're not gonna eat, right? But in the future, when those Mexicans and those brown people are now on the other side of that wall because of what we built, you'll thank us later. Like, no, I
So
don't even have a problem with those people.
Let me read the full thing she said because I actually listened to her interview, so they're not taking her out of context. Like this
I,
is
I
what she
know they're
said.
not. I know they're not.
So she said, "Listen, it's not fair to you, and we all get that. But this is so much bigger than any one person. It is a little bit of pain, but it's going to be for the future of our country. And their children and their grandchildren and generations after them will thank them for their sacrifice right now." I wanted to hop through the screen and say, "You privileged son of a beep." Like,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
Really? Like, of course, she's going to be able to be in a position to say that because she's not affected by it. She doesn't have to live paycheck to paycheck. She doesn't have to live under the threat of being evicted. She doesn't have to worry about any of this stuff.
exactly. No, you're right. And and that's the problem. Like, I really think that in order for this shutdown to not last as long as it did, everyone should have been affected. Democrats and Republicans in the Senate and in the House. All of them should have furloughed their checks until they get until they got this shit corrected. But
Yeah.
think about it. They're not affected, like you said. She, as in what's her name, Laura Trump, she's not affected. And definitely the Democrats and Republicans, they're not affected. So they don't mind going on to damn near next year if they have to, just to prove a point. Because listen, I don't get it. I
No,
just don't get it. I just don't get it. You know, that's
no.
crazy. Because you know, it's sad though too. It's sad because I really believe that if they were affected just as the TSA workers, I mean, think about it. I was watching news yesterday.
Uh,
They said that the FBI agents now have to, and I repeat, have to take up, find other jobs. FBI
what?
agents, FBI agents are not getting paid. They had,
Wow.
they had, they had a government worker. Now he's an Uber driver. He said he's an Uber driver until the government opened back up. Like
Wow.
what? Like what are we doing here? Like what are we doing here?
I
And
feel like
instead,
we need to pull out that Childish Gambino song. This is America.
I know. It's sad. You know what? It is sad how both sides are not. They don't care about the middleman. You know, I don't think the Democrats are right. I don't think the Republicans are right. I think they just need to get it together. You know, but one thing I do stand firm on is that we should not be building a wall because our president promoted and panhandled everybody by saying basically the Mexicans are going to build the wall, knowing the Mexicans were not going to build a wall. So
Uh,
that's one reason why I believe we should not. Another reason is because of what we all know. Something that if he has 5 billion in his head, times it by 2. I mean, let's be honest. You know, with
25
spending,
billion?
think about it. You know about spending. You know who's overseeing the money. That stuff is going to be everywhere, but on the wall. Remember the bridge to nowhere? That bridge costs a lot of money, and it goes literally nowhere.
Uh,
It goes like probably 7 miles out into the ocean or whatever, and then it just turns back around.
uh,
Like what a waste! Like we thought these were going to build a bridge to Alaska for what the hell? And it's stupid. It's a waste of money. You can't do anything about it. So
it's amazing to me that they have
what's
all
up?
this money for this stuff, but they don't have money to make sure that we don't have any poor, unfed people in America. They don't have money to make sure that people's student loans are forgiven.
Mm.
They don't have money. Like they don't have money for free school. They don't have money for free healthcare for all. Like you got money for all this stuff. You got billions to allocate to all this stuff, but you don't have the money to allocate to the needs of the people.
Mm-mm-mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. You got all this money, but you can't give it to the people who really need it.
Right. Because you can say their counter argument would be like, these people need the wall. No.
Who? Who needs the wall?
No. We
You
have
know
more
what?
domestic terrorists than we do outside threats.
Thank you. Waste of time, man.
It is a waste
And
of time.
and and the sad thing is, innocent people gotta pay for it. Not fair. Not right.
Yeah. Yeah. But speaking of privileged people,
What's
do
up?
you see this? You saw this it made front news where it was a Native American guy. He was getting stared
Yes.
down by these
Yes.
kids from a Catholic school. Do you remember the name of the school?
No, I do not.
Maybe
Only I remember the kid was wearing a MAGA hat. So that's all I know.
Yeah. But so I'll get the name in a minute. But so today actually allowed one of the main kid that was staring down the Native American guy.
Uh-huh.
They allowed him to have an interview
I know.
today.
What's that? I mean, what's that about, man? Come
His
on.
name is Nick Saddenman, Sadnmann, Saddenman. Um, Covington High School. That's the name of it. Covington
Okay.
High School. But that's his name, Nick Saddenman. They allowed him to have an interview. He was talking about, in hindsight, I wish I could have walked away. But to give you a rundown of the whole incident, there are these Hebrew Israelites who are shouting at these kids, and nobody knows who started it. But in the video, it shows the Hebrew Israelites saying, "Oh, you guys are the product of incest," and they were saying stuff like that. And the kids from I said Covington High School. That's what I said. Yeah,
Yeah,
Covington High
Covington.
School.
Yeah, Covington. I thought
They
you
were wearing the "Make America Great Again" hats, the red hats. Some people believe those hats are like the Klan hood,
said. Hmm.
like the new Klan hood.
I
But
wouldn't doubt
anyway,
it.
they were wearing those hats, and they were just busy shouting back at the Hebrew Israelites. Um, I didn't hear anything derogatory on their end on the video, but there's a Native American guy that stepped in between the both of them and was playing his drum, and he said he was trying to decrease the tension and ease the moment. And he said he did hear the kids saying derogatory statements back. And so in the video, the kids are obviously taunting this Native American guy, but for some reason they're trying to spin the narrative and say that the main kid Nick was just staring him down and didn't want to
Why?
move.
Why? Privileged punk.
Exactly.
Who do you think he is? Don't stare at me.
The
Fix your
fact
eyes,
that
punk.
the fact that he even got an interview is
Ugh,
what I'm scratching my head over. If you're going to interview
disgusting.
him, interview everybody.
Yeah.
Like interview somebody from the Black Hebrew Israelites. Interview some Hebrew. I'm mixing my words. Interview the Native American guy. From what I hear, they're going to interview him, and I'd be curious to see what he's actually going to say.
I'll be curious too. So, got a point.
Yeah, I'm like the nerve. And the thing is, people are saying that, like, I'm looking on social media, they're saying,
Okay.
"Oh, these are just little kids. These are
No,
just
they're not.
kids."
Mm-mm.
And I'm just like, was Trayvon Martin a kid?
Thank you.
Were any of these black kids that were killed? They're always thought to be men.
Exactly.
Was Tamir Rice a kid?
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. How was he? Like 13, 12, 13?
I don't even think he was even a teenager.
Wow.
And the thing is, they're trying to, like, I think both sides, the Hebrew Israelites, I think, because they were obviously older than these kids, they should have just like let it go. So they were in the wrong for their part too. But these kids were also in the wrong also, and I don't think just because they're kids, they should escape any blame. At one point, one of the kids says, and this is on video, he said, "It's not rape if she likes it."
What? Are you joking?
Mm-mm.
It's not rape if she likes it. Okay. Alrighty then. I heard enough.
And they were harassing girls on their way there. So it wasn't like they were just there to have a protest or just make a statement. They were harassing people on their way there.
That's crazy. You see, and that's the problem, because when it's all said and done, what they should be really focusing on, like you heard Jamie Lee Curtis apologize because
About
she
what?
first came out and was talking bad about the kids, and then once the true story came out, she apologized and said, "I apologize and I feel bad. I should have just waited to see her." I'm like, girl, stop it. That dude, listen, a picture, what does it say? A picture tells 1,000 words.
Yeah, a picture worth 1,000
Worth
words.
1,000 words. Let me tell you something. His face alone. I was looking how you gonna get to. Wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Just had a brain freeze. So,
Okay.
that was definitely random. Sorry about that.
Got hit that random button one
Yeah,
time.
I got hit that random button.
Random.
I was flowing, and I said, "Oh, wait, where am I? Wait a minute, what happened? Sorry."
Yeah. So it's funny because we're still trying to get this video popping, but every
Yes.
time it comes around, we never have the cameras right for the video. So I'm
Yeah.
seeing you over here dozing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was like, wait a minute, I'm talking. Wait, where am I? Hey, what time is it? See, this is what happened. I don't got no sugar in my body, man. I'm hungry.
Yo, you ever been in the middle of like you flowing and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, what am I talking about?
Yes, that just happened. I was flowing, and then I said, wait a minute. I think I'm sleep talking. Am I talking? Wait, where am I? So I think if I didn't take myself so serious, I think I kind of finished that sentence and knowing what I know. But I was like, hey, what I just said? Is that me talking? And it's so funny. I'm looking at you like, what are you doing? You're like, you reading something, dude. It don't make no sense.
Dude, I'm reading just to make sure I got all the facts straight for these stories.
Dude, it's so funny. For the first time, I see, wow, our genes are strong.
Wait, hit that random button again.
Random.
Dude, you ain't know we look alike by now?
No, but you look like on Libby though. I'm looking at it right now, cracking up. I'm like, whoa,
goodness.
Man, it's not Libby. It's not Libby in the cut. But yeah, so that was crazy. Hey, so what about that twerk video? You want to talk about?
Oh, you really want to go there? I was gonna go. Okay, we'll address it. So I'm actually writing an article about that twerk video. So there was a song by this hip hop duo from Miami named the City Girls called Twerk, and it was featuring Cardi B. So with this video, they're just provocatively dancing in the video. They're scantily clad. I'm using all the terms. I'm using all the terms that I was using in the article that I'm writing. So
Crazy.
and they're just twerking. They're just shaking their hips. They're shaking their body and everything. And so then this conservative writer for the Daily Caller named Stephanie Hamill, she's gonna comment on the song saying, "In the era of Me Too, how exactly does this empower women?" She's talking about the video. So I thought to myself, like, this can go many different ways, because I looked at the video and I've seen comments on both sides. People are like, "Oh, it's just a bunch of girls shaking their butts."
Exactly.
And I don't see how this helps with women's empowerment. And then I've also seen other people saying, I mean, they're just having a good time. And I actually watched the video, and I know people who listen to this are gonna say, "Oh, just because you're a man, that's why you have this opinion." But I actually thought it wasn't that bad of a video. Like, I'm the first person to criticize a video if it's going crazy. Now, the lyrics to the song are ratchet as I don't know what. And the lyrics aren't that great in terms of what they represent. But the video itself, it just looks like a bunch of women having a good time, just shaking their behinds, and they're dancing. Like, twerking is an art. That's one thing I learned from that video. Twerking is an art. It's not as easy as people think.
You know what? I wouldn't know.
Well, obviously not, because you're a guy. Well, no offense to any of the gay listeners out there that might be twerking, or any of the straight guys that think that twerking is cool. No offense.
There you go. No offense, guy.
No offense, but yeah, obviously I was introduced to twerking when I first got to college. No, actually, no, I take that back. I knew about this ever since I was a little kid. They called it something different back then. They called it the booty shake or the ASS clap. Like, they called it that.
Hey, how old are we? What's the ASS clap? You mean ass clap?
Oh my God. Dude, I try to keep it clean for the show.
Boo.
Yeah, why you got your camera pointing down? Like, why am I looking at papers right now?
Because I'm multitasking.
Oh my God.
Random.
Why you gotta call me out? Damn, son.
Because I noticed that ever since we switched to talking on camera, even though nobody sees us on the camera, we just released the audio. I've noticed we flow a lot better. We flow
do.
A lot better.
Okay, so that case, then you know what? Yeah, you got a point. All
no,
right.
No, you could be random. I'm just saying this is awkward, man. I'm just looking down at papers.
Let me help you out.
I'm looking down at papers and see your wedding band.
Wow.
Okay.
Sound better? There you go.
There you go. But yeah, the twerk video, what do you think about it?
Well, I seen it yesterday, and it was good, but it was just too much for me yesterday. I was just so focused on what I was doing. It was just too much, man. I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
It's a
You
lot
know,
of
for the
fun.
first time, I felt like I wanted to clutch my pearls and find my Bible, because I was like, oh my gosh, what is
Yeah,
going on
I
here?
think that was worse than the tip drill video by Nelly.
It was.
In terms of the amount
I
of graphic
mean,
material.
it was a graphic. See, and I didn't even get to see the end of it. I saw it probably because you even text when you called me when I called you back. He's like, "Dude, you finished already?" I said, "I didn't finish." He said, "You didn't see that part?" I'm like, "Nah, I didn't see that part."
Dude, the ending,
I'll
I
probably
give
check it out tonight.
I
But
give that woman the most credit in the world. This woman was twerking on a handstand, and then she like stiffened up like a Statue of Liberty and just fell straight down. I was like, wow.
mm,
She did a backflip into a twerk off a table.
mm, I'll check
Listen,
it out
that's
too.
why I say it's an art. Like I had to appreciate the art of what they were doing in that video. It was not just shaking your behind. Like they were legit putting in work. I have to appreciate that. I was like, yo, these sisters are talented. And then this one girl, Lexi, no, I think Lexi LaPena. I forgot her name, but she's a I've been laughed saying that she's a twerk instructor. Um, um, and she was saying that why weren't there any white girls in the video? And people
You're
were
joking, right?
yeah, no, Lexi Pantera. Yeah, Lexi Pantera. Yeah, she said that she was asking why weren't there any white girls in the video. I'm like, first off, twerking was something invented by black women.
Yes, sir.
So if black people want to keep it in the culture, I think they're within their right to just keep it in the culture. That's not alienating anybody, but that's just saying it's our cultural thing. We don't have to bring anybody else in. It's like Chinatown. Is Chinatown having other races come through and set up shop in there and start their own businesses? No, they keep it in house. It's not saying that they won't allow it. It's just saying that we're just keeping our stuff in house.
I agree.
So
You know, I always agree with you. Listen, man. Listen, I agree.
So yeah, I just thought that was funny, and then the fact that you're a twerk instructor, I'm like, that's how you already know you're out of touch with the culture. A twerk instructor.
Yeah, exactly. And my thing is this: like, let's be honest. Let's really be honest.
Okay.
When you think about it, when you think about a twerk, anything, who you thinking about? Strippers at that club. Now, granted, did they have any Spanish women in there?
I mean, they have black Hispanics, like Afro Latinas.
Gotcha.
Still black. When it's all said and done, twerking is a black thing. So if people want to keep it in the culture, then that's their prerogative. But that wraps it up for AVIOT, Atypical Voices in Our Time. We thank you all for listening, and we will see you next week.
All right, cousin. Peace.
So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.